Welcome to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Let's Talk Cars Radio is sponsored in part by Napa Car Care Centers, the BDG Auto Group, and by Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmissions. Be a part of the program today by calling 757-222-3705. That's 757-222-3705. Email your questions and comments to Dave at letstalkcarsradio.com. Now, here is the host of Let's Talk Cars Radio, Dave Palach.
Happy Saturday, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Palach, and it is another Saturday, boys.
Who's praying for snow?
No, I'm good. I know you are. As you were telling me, I'll take a little more cold.
Yeah, I liked it on the cold side.
I love the cold. I've always loved the cold. I mean, here's my theory, guys, and if you haven't heard me say it before, I'll tell you now. I like the cold, and the reason why I like it. When it's hot, there's only so many pieces of clothing I can take off before I go to jail. When it's cold, you can just put layers on and you're good to go.
I just don't like to sweat. And when it's cold, I don't sweat.
There you go. People think I wear shorts in the snow. I wear flip-flops in the snow. It's never bothered me.
You sound like an engineer friend of mine. It'll be the middle of winter, and he's walking around with flip-flops and shorts.
It doesn't bother me. I've done it for years and years and years. It's never bothered me. I think I told this story to you once. I don't know if I ever told it to our listeners. So I broke down. I told you I got a car story for everything. I broke down in Chicago in the place I was working. I was young. I think I was like 17. And the dress attire in the wintertime still was a t-shirt, khaki shorts, and Birkenstock sandals, if you remember Birkenstocks. They were real popular back in the late 80s, early 90s.
I remember.
Okay, so they had stores. I don't think they do anymore. Maybe they do somewhere. That's all they still sold was Birkenstock sandals. That was it. You went inside. I mean, the place was like overran by people all the time. And anyway, so I worked there. I used to get off, and it was in the mall. And so like 11 o'clock by the time I left. Snowstorm can be. So never a big deal to me because my car is right there in the parking lot. So I just walk out to my car and get my car and go. And I never felt really cold, even though it'd be snow and storm outside, it'd be cold as can be, and it just never bothered me until I broke down. So I broke down it's got to be like 4 miles from home, if not a little bit more. And I walked in the snowstorm in a t-shirt, my shorts, and my Birkenstock sandals all the way home in the snowstorm.
And when you got home, you had no feeling in your feet.
And when I got home, I had absolutely no feeling in my feet. I lit the fireplace, and I could not feel my toes for hours and hours. I thought I was going to go to the emergency room because I couldn't feel anything in my toes.
Yeah, you could have gotten frostbite.
I think I had it. I'm pretty sure I did. I think I had a good touch of it. But since then, cold really doesn't bother me. I mean, it has to be really, really, really cold for me to ever go, oh, yeah, it's kind of cold out here.
Yeah, you'll notice you never see me with a coat. It's rare.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't know. So I guess the way to get over it is to just go out in the snow in your bare feet and walk around for hours, and you'll never be cold either.
It won't be long. By next week, it'll be summer.
Well, it was slick coming in today. I mean, it's only like 45 degrees where we're at. Hopefully where you guys are at, it's sunny. It's not here in the Hampton Roads area where we broadcast out of. So
you got any ice mixing in with that? Is that why it's slick?
I don't know. It was really slick. As I was coming down the freeway, there was already a car off. It slid off the off ramp and was down to one of those little, drop-down ditch ponds. Was already down there as I was coming in. So I don't know why it's so slick. But here's one of the things I noticed is the potholes around here, and I know, send me all your mail because you're going to hear it. I know it's everywhere, but they have done nothing to fix the potholes around here. I mean, they're like craters. I mean, they're not even potholes. I mean, you could lose cars in them.
They're just waiting for all of it to be over, the pothole season to be over, and fix them at once.
Is that what you think?
Well, that's what I'd hope.
There's this cool new machine. Go check it out, guys, online. It is a pothole fixing machine.
I've seen it.
Just with the truck, and it backs up and cuts the perfect shape and drops a blanket.
It's a totally automated process. It is so neat.
I don't know what all the road construction guys are going to do if they actually start buying that machine. Because usually, and look, if you guys can explain to me, because I yet to figure it out in all my years, why is there always like the pothole crew truck out there and there's like 9 guys standing there and there's one guy working?
because you got to have supervisors.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is it 8 supervisors and 1 worker?
I noticed that years ago with highway crews, or not just them, almost any place where there's a lot of labor going, there's always a group of guys doing nothing and 2 or 3 doing the work.
It's like every time you go by like a highway project, there's like one guy down in the hole, and like all the guys at the top of the hole looking down, and there's always one guy sitting on a machine that has a big, huge, bucket shovel on it, and he's staring down at him too. And I'm like, why is that guy down with a little shovel when you got this big, huge machine? Wow. Like I said, I know I'm gonna get a bunch of hate mail, but it is what it is.
Mysteries to us.
Mysteries.
Yeah.
Absolute mysteries. And here's another mystery. So do you all remember, I mean, especially if you're car guys and you guys listen to the show, I know I have a lot of people that aren't really car guys or car gals that listen to the show that just tune in for the pure fun of what we're going to say next, which is great. But there would be a time when you talked about cars and it would be like the names that popped up were Mustang, Camaro, Challenger, Charger. Does it concern anybody that, like, for the last 3 weeks, the only name you hear is Kia? Like, so we're through like almost all the car shows for a second. We just did New York, and it's like everything is still Kia. And we talked about this last couple of weeks. I joke about it because I think it's funny, and I know the Kia Stinger. You guys are tired of hearing about it, I'm sure, but it's not just the Stinger anymore. They got some other stuff coming down the line, and Kia's like the talk everything. People didn't go to the car show like, hey, did you see that new Mustang? That was awesome. Hey, did you see that new Camaro? That was awesome. It's, hey, I went to the car show, man. What about Kia?
They're definitely getting talk.
Well, here's the other thing. So, the big talk at the New York show was we talked about Volkswagen wanting to do a truck. Mm-hmm. Well, they brought one. They brought a prototype to the car show.
A VW pickup truck.
And it is cool looking.
I haven't seen it.
Yes, I said it. Right, I see you in there. Yeah, no, I said it. It's cool. I know. See, y'all can't see him. I can see him. He's giving me this look like, really? But
I'm gonna have to look it up after the show because I just can't visualize it.
It's squatted down like a weird stance on it. It's got the prototype obviously got some weird like knobbyish looking tires to it, but it's neat looking.
Well, you remember the minibuses?
Well, of course I remember the minibuses.
They're bringing those back.
I know.
Have you seen the styling? I've seen that.
No, it's cool.
Yeah, it looks neat.
It is. It's cool.
I'd like to drive one.
I can't get that, man. Now, my kids started driving cars. I was like, how about we get a couple like 67 Volkswagen Bugs?
Yeah.
And, we'll drop them down, lower them down, and do some cool stuff to them. No interest. I'm like, look, you will be the coolest kid at school because nobody else is going to have one like that. No one else is going to have a lowered Bug, drop down, chromed out engine on the back, railed out. No one's going to They shake their head at me like they just do. I'm telling you guys, if you want to be cool, go get a Bug. Put your kid in it.
Remember those Bugs people used to trick out with the Rolls Royce grill on the front?
That was so dumb.
I saw so many of those.
Oh. No. I was down with a lot of things with Bugs. I love Bugs. I think they're cool. But the Rolls Royce grill thing, I thought that was the dumbest thing ever.
Must have been popular because you saw a good bit of it.
So I'm actually, everything this week for the news is in my computer. So I'm trying to.
I was wondering where all your papers were.
See, we're trying a couple of new things. The one thing I don't like about it, guys, is, and you can't tell, because I don't think you guys can see it on the screen, but I can, is every time I look away from it, it tries to darken the screen, and I got to tap real quick and try to get it to come up before I got to type the password back in.
It knows when you're looking.
It knows when I'm awake. It knows if I've been good, bad or good. No, that doesn't apply here.
There should be a setting to override that, I would think.
I don't know. Hey, here's something cool. Dukes of Hazzard. Now, you know my obsession with Dukes of Hazzard.
I know about this story, too.
Okay, yeah. So they are going to be jumping a General Lee at John Snyder's birthday bash. You saw that one? That's pretty cool. I just want one. I don't need to jump it. Well, maybe I will. I probably would, wouldn't I? Yeah. I'd find a set of cool railroad tracks or something to jump it off.
They're going to tear it up if they jump it.
Well, they tear one up every year at, was it Hazard Days?
Yeah.
I told you, so here was weird. I was doing a travel, this was many years ago, and I was in Hazard, Kentucky, which obviously has nothing to do with the movie, I guess. I just assumed it did. I was like, oh, Hazard, Kentucky. Maybe this is like the whole basis of this movie.
I thought that was the setting.
I don't think it is. I don't think those two go with each other.
Okay.
But I never seen so many General Lees sitting in people's driveways when I was there. I did. I'm driving it through, and I didn't realize I didn't see the sign for Hazard, Kentucky yet. And I'm driving through, and I see like a General Lee sitting in somebody's driveway, like it's an everyday drive car. I'm just like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I drive like another 4 or 5 miles down, and I see another one sitting in someone's driveway, and I must have saw like 11 or 12 General Lees while I was in that town.
Wow.
I was like, I guess maybe because just the name of the town you live in, you feel you have to have one.
I don't know.
It was neat.
Could be.
Yeah.
But I always thought it was the Dukes of Hazzard was in Hazard, Kentucky. I just assumed.
I know it's in Hazard, but I don't know where. I have to look it up. See,
There is a Hazard. There is a Hazard, Kentucky.
No, I was in Hazard. This was Hazard,
Yeah.
Kentucky. I was in, but I don't think that was the setting for the movie, or not movie, but the TV show.
I know they didn't film there, but I just thought that was
Is
the
it?
setting.
I'm going to look. See, I feel bad. I should know this.
And I'm sure they filmed it on some set in California.
Oh, I'm sure. I told you about going to the sets and seeing all the cool cars when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
Still, man, I love that forever. I think it's just a cool thing. So I got another weird one for you. I got a bunch of weird stuff this week, guys, in the news. It's things that make you go, well, you can't see that. That used to be Arsenio Hall's thing. Things that make you go, That was a song. Yeah, that's what it was. If I say distracted driving, what do you think of?
Texting.
Cameron, what do you think of?
The radio.
That's another one. Do you know what one of the biggest distractions in a car is? And it's not texting, it's not cell phones, it's not the radio.
Eating.
Well, you would think that because of my weird things that happen to me, be people seeing people eat. No. Actually, I'm going to give it to you because we could guess forever. Go ahead. I know you got another one.
Talking to passengers.
No, that would be a good one too. Pets. Pets in the car distract you when you're driving. So here's the question that actually came up this week is, if you are getting tickets for being distracted while texting and all that other good stuff that goes messing with your phone, whatever it is, Facebooking, all the things that people do behind the wheel now, why isn't a pet, a ticketed offense? Because, I mean, you'll see people going down the road with them sitting in their lap on the driver's side while they're driving the car, and the dog or the cat or whatever, it's always a dog. But, I mean, there's cat people out there who do it too, I'm sure, is sitting, and it takes up all the room between them and the steering wheel. I know you've seen it.
No, usually the dogs I see are in the back seat with their head stuck out the window.
I see people with them sitting in their laps in the front seat between them and the steering wheel with the dog on the window looking out the driver's window as the car is going down the road.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
I'll
too.
have somebody in mind.
No. It's not that we have somebody in mind. Not at all. I'm just saying, I get in these conversations online. I tell you, I join these conversations online, so it gives me something to talk about throughout the week, and sometimes it translates into the show. And people are all up in arms about the fact that I decided to point this out. I'm like, if it's pet lovers, and I'm a pet lover too, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to have well, first of all, I had a Doberman, and that wouldn't have worked, but I couldn't imagine having my Doberman standing on top of me in the driver's seat as I'm trying to drive down the road.
Yeah, the size is going to be a problem.
Right, yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. So, like I said, it's one of those things. If you're in trouble for using your phone, why aren't you in trouble for the dog standing on you as you're trying to drive the road?
Well, I guess there's no shortage to a lot of things. You could make a list of what would cause you to be distracted while driving.
But I don't think anybody ever thought of pets. But it is. As I looked up, it's actually, in some states now are actually requiring you to buckle your pets in.
Yeah, I wonder how that works.
So they have a special buckling devices now. And some of the cars are actually now going to come with them, apparently.
A dog seat.
No, it has a special, there's one, as I was looking it up, and after I got in this conversation, and of course, then I wanted to do a little research because that's just how it works for me in the middle of the night. There is the contraptions you can put on your dog. It's it goes all the way around you and clicks onto them, and then it clicks them in the stand-up position with their paws like this to the seat. So there's so if you get in an accident, they can't slide forward or get hit or. No?
The times they are changing.
That's pretty sweet, though.
It apparently is supposed to be really comfortable for the animal, but if you go look it up online, you'll see what I'm talking about. It doesn't look comfortable to me, but it's supposed to be comfortable. But yeah, now there's dividers that they're making now that they're talking about in vehicles where you'll actually, I used to have the center fold down and the back seat would fold down. Mm-hmm. Okay, well now there's a pull out that will slide out and click, which will keep the dog contained to one side of the car so it can't walk back and forth across the back seat. Well, a bunch of different ideas people that they're coming up with for animals.
Can they change the radio station?
No, they can't. But hey, it's neat.
I don't know. I just
who
who thinks of this stuff?
somebody who's getting paid a lot of money.
In a million years, I never would have thought about a pet being distracted.
I'll give you a quick one.
There's no shortage of things that could distract you.
So as I'm looking at all this different stuff, I was like, well, why not? Because people take their pets everywhere with them. Why not build in like feeding and drinking station in the back of some of these SUVs where you could fill up a water compartment that's already built in the vehicle, and then you just have a little nozzle on the back of the, like by the bumper, you just turn it. It's a little water faucet, so you can throw a little bowl underneath there and put water in it.
Why not?
I thought of that while I was sitting there. I was just like, well, yeah, that would work. No? I'll let you all think about it for a second now that I got Larry scratching his head. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we got more news for you. Talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA.
Something really cool happened in 1975. And no, it wasn't the beginning of the disco era. Congress passed the Magnuson-Moss Act, so you don't have to take your vehicle back to your dealer to keep your vehicle manufacturer's warranty in effect. Our Napa Auto Care Center uses the proper replacement parts and procedures to keep that warranty valid. Visit our independently owned Napa Auto Care Center today.
Hey guys, you asked for it and I delivered. Check out our all-star team of automotive specialists at NapaBDGHRVA.com. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Pilach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cottman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cottman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating, and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow & Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949, residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow & Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated. Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Pilach. And if you were not hanging out with us in the first segment, you missed all the good news. And you're just out of luck. You like that?
You got nothing else?
No, actually, so I thought of something on commercial break as I was sitting here quietly thinking to myself, what about a poop scooper attached to the car? Almost like a is that what they call a Roomba? You know how it vacuums your house up for you?
Yeah.
What about one that's popped up underneath the vehicle and you push a button and it comes out and goes over and scoops up your dog's mess and goes back up underneath the vehicle and docks itself?
Why not?
Hey.
I can't. Can you imagine what that would cost, though?
I don't know. Somebody would buy it.
I'm sure they would.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm surprised that they haven't invented an automated poop scooper for which when you walk your dog.
That just follows behind you?
Well, you throw it on the sidewalk and it deploys.
I got a pretty poopy story to tell you in the news later on in the news today. It's in here.
All right.
It kind of has it's got wheels, so we're going to say it classifies as in the car news because it just has wheels, but it really doesn't. But I just couldn't pass up the story. Anyway, I have a listener's letter. You ready for this one? Dear Dave, I have a 2001 Jeep that I bought as a hunting fishing truck. I keep having issues with water on the floor. I've checked and it's not antifreeze, so I don't think it's the heater core. I have ran water all over it and I haven't seen any leaks. Any idea? Brent in Norfolk. I do. I had to research this one though, because I thought I knew what it was, but I wasn't sure. So here's what I come up with. It's probably not the heater core.
That's the first thing I
Problem
thought
solved.
it would be.
No, that's what the first thing I thought as soon as he said it was on the floor. But so apparently the 97 to 2001 Jeep Sprint actually have an issue with a couple different things. There's a couple things you need to take a look at. One of them I knew about. Another one I did not know that it had the issue with it. If you look on the cowl of the hood, there is a seal that goes there. And if you get a bunch of stuff down on the cowl, it'll actually block up some of the drainage and it will leak inside the vehicle on the passenger side floor. So that was number one that I looked up for you. The other one I did know about, if you take a look, and this one's more common in that vehicle, and I had to deal with it many, many times over the years. Over where the AC condenser and all that stuff come together, there's actually a vent right there that gets stuffed up all the time. What we used to do is we used to actually take a long hanger and run the hanger up through the tube and get the debris out that's in there. And that was really, really popular, and it would dump quite a bit of water on the floor. So if you've ran water all over and you're not getting any leaks, I'm going to say that it's not the cowl, because water would get in there and that would be your issue. I'm going to say that it's probably going to be down there by the AC vent tube. Like I said, we ran into it a lot of different times. Pretty simple fix for the most part. Like I said, just take it. And last but not least, if you're still getting some water and you're not really sure, get up underneath the dash. And underneath the dash, there is where the seam seal comes together on those. And sometimes that seal goes bad right up underneath. It's way up in there, though. If you take a look, you got to lay basically on the floor and look up inside and look. And right where the seam comes together, that seal sometimes goes bad. And it's a pretty easy fix. You can just re-seam it back together with some seam sealer epoxy, and it takes care of it. So check those three things, but I'm pretty sure you're going to run into that being the issue. Is it's going to be one of those drains that are going to be stuffed up. Because like I said, those Jeeps, like I said, it was like 97. Don't quote me on it, but like 97 to 2001, I'm thinking were the years that have the biggest issue with that. So hopefully that helps you out. And if not, you know what you can do. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
You knew this was coming. You're obviously smiling over. You can take it over to Napa, one of our dedicated Napa auto garages at the BDG Group, HRVA.com. If you pull them up online, check them out. You can find a garage listed there. They can actually probably help you with it anywhere in your area closest to your house. They do a lot of great work. One of our great sponsors. And like I said, that's another option if you don't want to do it yourself. So, and I got something on doing it yourself this week too.
Okay.
So I told you I got some good conversations this week.
You're
with some
all
of
over the
listeners.
place.
I'm all over the map. Well, not literally, because I didn't go anywhere for spring break, but I am all over the map. No. Hey, so I'll take you back a little bit and see where your memory is at. It's usually good. You're pretty sharp.
I don't know.
I was giving you credit. Look, they don't know any different. Remember our subprime conversation?
Yes, about the cars.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And remember how we've been talking about this for about a couple of years now. Well, you're starting to see the ice is starting to crack, my friend.
It's starting to fall in place.
It is. So this week, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, let me give you a little synopsis. You all know what happened with the mortgage subprime rates and how that completely tanked us, and we still haven't fully recovered from all that yet. Well, the theory was, and we talked about it for years, is there's also a subprime car market that was very, very, very unstable. Okay, so with it being unstable and all the different issues that go along with that, our theory is in talking with a lot of different people that are in the market over the years, is that could topple and go over, and there's a lot of signs of it. Because, and not to say, so you had like, what, $30 trillion on the home side, okay? Mm-hmm. Well, you're only talking like $130 billion on the car side, but that's still a lot of money.
More than I've got.
Okay, and we're not talking about auto loans. We're talking about bad auto loans. About $130,000 or $130 billion in subprime loans. Subprime loans are ones that are the risky loans that have been given out to people who probably shouldn't have been in that car in the first place if they found some way to put them in it. Well, you're starting to see that that market is, and we had predicted that we would see it start to crash and cause a lot of problems. And it is, with number one, car sales going down. Now, if I know this is going to happen because it happens every time we talk about it. Yes, I understand that March saw an increase, by the way, a little increase in some sales in March. But on a whole, auto sales is down by like 11% for the year. So that's pretty big.
Indeed.
So, everybody's like, oh, well, I saw that Toyota did awful, but Lexus did great. Yeah, they had like 5.4% increase, but then they had Toyota had like a 5.3 decrease. So I mean, it's like, look, if you put it all together, it's still 11% over the course of the year. And then if you look at any of the markets, they're predicting it's going to go down even worse. So you can argue about that however you want. So obviously, with car sales being down, loans start to look a little shady, and because you have to keep on packaging loans together and make it all work. So you've seen some of the larger subprime companies actually file for bankruptcy this week. So that's the start of it.
I was going to say, sooner or later, somebody's losing money.
Yeah, and that's where we're at. I'll let you guys be posted. I don't want to say I told you so yet, but I told you so.
You think it's going to get worse?
Yeah, I do. I predicted it for 2 years. For 2 years, I predicted we're going to see a crash in that market, and I think it's coming.
And will it hit the market as a big splash, or will it just trickle in?
No, I think you're going to see a bigger splash, because here's the thing. So some of your small companies are backed by bigger banks. So you may have like John Joe's lending company, but it may be backed by, say, Bank of America.
Okay.
So the bigger banks will start to take the hit.
Yeah, so they'll absorb it, I guess.
But how much, that's the problem. That's what everybody thought last time, that everything could be absorbed. But as everything started to topple left, back and forth, right over left, whatever, however you want to say it, it got worse and worse and worse before you knew we had a problem.
Is it going to make harder to get financing for autos in the future?
I think so. I think it's going to be harder to get financing in the future. You're already seeing some of the interest rates are starting to go up on cars again. So I think you're going to see a topple of this market and a big change in it. And on top of that, when people aren't interested in buying cars like they used to, that's going to be even more interesting. Like I said, if you watch some of the stock markets and some of these stock guys, they're calling for a big change in the way we see cars and loans. And
if there's less cars, does that mean we're using less gas?
Okay, so I got something in the news for that too. You always take some of my thunder away. I had to bring my computer back up. See, it delays me. I'm gonna connect this together before the end of the show. You guys keep me on my toes. Trust me, I will connect. This all will connect together before the end of the show.
I asked that because gas prices seem to be rising again.
They are, for no reason, by the way. So I talked to my friend in California the other day. They're paying, where he was at, like $3.41 is what he's paying. And we're at, I paid $2.49 today. That's what I paid.
Yeah, that's about what I've been seeing.
Yeah. So, it's Cameron always likes to laugh because, you can jump in the truck and realize there is no gas. Yeah. So, good times.
We'll have him fill it up for you.
Yeah, I'll get right on that. Another one of his duties to do on top of keeping this show running and with all the different video equipment and online stuff. Yeah, we'll add to his duties.
There you go.
So now, I don't know. Like I said, I think it is all connected. I think auto sales, gasoline, all that stuff's all going to merge together and make one big, huge storm.
The story I heard on gas prices was they're still blaming the hurricane in Houston back in September.
Come on now.
I've read that. I've actually read a couple of news accounts that that's one of the reasons they say. But if demand is falling,
I can't keep a straight face as you say it because, I understand where you're coming from. I'm sorry, I can't keep a straight face because I'm calling BS. I'm just calling it for what it is.
I'm just telling you what I read.
Right, sure.
I mean, I find it hard to believe too, but why not blame it on a hurricane 5 years ago?
I got oceanfront property in Arizona.
Anytime there's something in the news that's weather related and it's near Houston or down in the Gulf, they want to blame it. That's up. Gas prices are going up.
Hey, totally off the top. Do you know where the London Bridge is?
It's in London.
Okay. I want to see if you give me the same. It's not, but I want to see if you give me the same answer.
Okay.
I asked that question last night to Dawn. She's like, I said, have you ever seen the London Bridge? And she's like, no. And she said, well, it's in London, right? And I went, no.
You're right. It was disassembled and reassembled somewhere else.
Yes.
Was it in the U.S.?
It's in the U.S., yeah.
Okay.
It's like in the desert in Arizona.
It's in Virginia Beach.
No.
That's where London Bridge is.
Yeah. No, it's in the, that would be a good place for it. Let's disassemble it and reassemble it again. No, it's in like the desert in Arizona. But I don't know why I know that. I just know that. Maybe a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people have to know that, but.
Why was that done?
A millionaire wanted it, I think, is what it comes down to. And so he just paid to bring it here.
Okay. Is it still called London Bridge?
Yeah, I guess, because we were talking about it. Things get off the rail here. I don't even know how to tell you guys. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I have some interesting news for you. You're going to want to hear it. Stay tuned. We'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA.
Hey guys, Dave Palach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cotman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow & Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949, residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow & Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated.
There's something special about Napa Auto Care Centers. They're backed by the national strength of Napa. Nationwide warranties honored by thousands of locations. You know, that's Napa know-how. But more importantly, your Napa Auto Care Center is independently owned and operated by neighborhood professionals who operate by a written code of ethics. Put your vehicle in the hands of ASE certified technicians who will greet you with a smile you can trust. Visit us today.
You heard me say it, and now here's your chance. Now's the time to go find your auto garage. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to NapaBDGHRVA.com and find your all-star car care center today. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Palach. And if you were hanging out with us in the second session, you missed nothing. If you didn't hang out with us, you missed a whole lot. No.
Well, we were having fun.
Yeah, we were having fun. Hey, so here's one of those. You know who Wile E. Coyote is, right?
Oh, who doesn't?
Did I tell you about the Wile E. Coyote painting?
I think so. About somebody had painted that like a tunnel into the rock or something. They painted it and looked realistic. Is that it?
Right. And that cars are hitting it?
Yeah.
Okay. So it pops back up. You would think at some point in time somebody would paint over it. I mean, if a car's hit it, I don't know. You guys tell me. If somebody, you know who Wile E. Coyote is. If you don't, he's the little guy who chases the Roadrunner. You know, me.
President of Acme.
Is he the president of Acme?
Well, no, don't you remember all the
He bought all the stuff from Acme.
All the different props he would use all had Acme written on it.
Well, see, I'll tell you a story. So I got a car story. See, I told you, I got a car story about everything. I once wanted, when I was into mini trucks, I wanted to paint a mini truck, and I wanted to do it that flat, like Acme wall gray, like you ever see Acme Labs, the cartoon, and it's got the Acme Labs, and it's that really flat gray?
Yeah.
And I wanted to paint the truck that flat gray. And then on the license plate, I wanted to put Acme Lab on the license plate, but I figured nobody would get it. Yeah. So that's the reason why I didn't do it.
No, you didn't do it.
No, I didn't do it. I wanted to do it, but the reason why I didn't do it is I figured nobody would get it. It's like Pinky and the Brain. People don't really know who Pinky and the Brain is.
I don't know who that is either.
Cameron shakes his head. He knows who it is.
Pinky and the Brain?
Pinky and the Brain. One's a genius, the other's insane.
Yeah. I have no knowledge.
They're a cartoon. They're called Pinky and the Brain. I used to love them. I was going to have those airbrushed on the back window of my car one time. Pinky in the Brain. His camera just showed Larry a picture of
I know
in the
who
Brain.
Pinky in the Brain is now.
Okay, yeah. So they had their own song, Pinky in the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. No, just me. I'm all by myself on this one, apparently. All right, well, moving on. Anyway, if you had the Wile E. Coyote wall and it's causing a problem where people are actually crashing into this mural that somebody painted on the side of a building because they think it's a tunnel, because it's a big tunnel, like they used to do in the cartoon. People keep on crashing into the tunnel because they think it's a real tunnel. You think they just paint over it? That would be like the solution for it. No. I'm moving on. I've lost you guys, apparently.
Meep, meep.
Meep, meep.
I think it's kind of cool, though.
We're way off the rails. All right. How about, here's another one. How would you like to be the school superintendent and get caught running the bus stop sign when the bus is out? This happened, Melbourne, Florida.
That doesn't surprise me.
The school superintendent got pulled over for running past a stopped school bus with the signs out. Now, you know how that's been a problem here in this area. It's been a big topic in this area. I don't even know, and didn't get a ticket. Got a warning. Oh, yeah, see, that's where I had the problem. Yeah.
That make the newspaper. It would help me to turn my own mic
Yeah,
on.
that's all right. You don't need your mic. It's all right.
Was that on the news? Is that where you heard about this? I mean, this is
One of them, I got all the media releases sent to me, and that's one of the ones I got sent to me.
I just can't. I mean, I would not want to be that guy.
He made a speech like it was nothing. Like, people make mistakes. That'd be one that I think you need not to be making.
Yeah. A mistake like that could kill somebody.
Right? Well, like I said, it's been a huge thing in our area, so I don't know. I thought you might find that one interesting. I'm looking all through the stories. I got some good ones for you. I know you have to remember this from, we covered this last year. The April Fool's stories, where the manufacturers put out like a fake thing about a car they're making every year around April's Fool time. We covered it last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Best one this year. This is, not everybody participates, but most of the manufacturers participate, if you guys don't want to talk about it. So basically, your automotive manufacturers like Chevy and Ford and everything, they make up a fake story and they put it out there usually around April Fool's time and see if people catch on to it in the media. This is the best one. They put out that they're doing genetic cars. Okay. So yeah, this is good. And people liked it. You spit into a test tube and you send it off to Lexus, and then Lexus will have it analyzed for you. And based on your DNA, the car that you pick will be sent to you with pre-programmed radio stations. It knows exactly by your DNA what kind of music it is you'll like. Temperature settings automatically at push button because it knows what your DNA, what type of temperature you like inside the vehicle. So people are like, it picks the color for you because it knows what color that your DNA finds attractive. So this is what they put out there, and people are like, oh, that's pretty cool. Now, this was the April Fool's story, but I guess with today's technology, it sounds believable. But the hitch for the very last thing was it has not finger identification to start the car, not facial recognition to start the car, but you must lick the steering wheel so that it recognizes it's you to start the car.
That's the giveaway.
That for some people, apparently, not for everybody. Yeah. You get the car to start, you just lick the steering wheel.
It's already sounding chintzy, but when you get to having to lick the wheel, come on now.
Hey, I don't know. That was the best one. Of all the ones that everybody had, that was the best one.
I thought you were going to tell me you had to put your tongue on a tongue scanner.
Tongue scan.
Right in the middle of the steering wheel, there's a tongue scanner.
You had to lick the window.
And you don't lick it, you stick your tongue on it.
They went on with it. They had like the windows. It picks up your DNA, and the windows will be tinted to a certain shade for the freckly people, less than other people that aren't freckly. I'm like, if you have pale skin, you have a certain tint, but it all knows that all through your DNA.
And somebody probably called up and said, "Where can I get one of those?"
Oh, yeah, right. Somebody did. So. Oh, okay. So we talked about this last week, and I told you I was going to give you a little bit more sense. So the death of the family sedans obviously is on. As I told you, everybody's starting to buy pickup trucks. Even the people who never thought they would buy a pickup truck starting to buy pickup trucks. Well, they released this week. They're actually going to start getting rid of some of all the family sedans that we've grown up with. The Taurus is going to go away. They say they're probably going to do away with the Impala in the next couple of years. They're just going to do away with it. People just aren't interested in buying family sedans anymore.
There's another Ford beside Taurus I saw that's going away. I can't remember which model it was.
The Fiesta is going away too.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. People just aren't interested in buying them. I mean, the family. I don't know how you consider a Fiesta a family sedan.
That's your low-cost entry.
That's your tiny car entry. But look, my in-laws, they got an Impala, and it was cool. It was a cool car. They had one of the newer ones.
It's hard to imagine Impalas going away. They've been around since the beginning of time.
Something will come out in its place. I mean, but here's the thing: like I said, if people are not buying family sedans and they're leaning towards pickup trucks as their family sedan for all the reasons we discussed many times, we don't need to get into it. Makes sense. It's just one less cost factor to have. And with all the different problems going on in the car market right this second, it would behoove them to reduce their production of cars that aren't, that's just less money that,
I would think the bottom line is if a model's not selling, then you quit making it. Nobody wants it if it's not selling.
I didn't even know people are even still buying Tauruses. I mean, I gave up on Taurus when the transmissions were blowing sky high in them a long time ago.
They're making police cars. There's quite a few police cars.
Police cars again?
I think there's some Taurus state trooper cars in Virginia.
Ugh. I'm sorry.
Well, they stopped it once and came back to it, so let's wait for the Fairlane 500?
Crown Vic and the Caprice were the best police cars that they ever made out of. I mean, they got their money hand over fist out of those cars. I mean, if you see what police officers do to those poor cars and they still are on the road, it's a miracle. I mean, they definitely take all the abuse. Hey, so if you own a Ford or a Lincoln Navigator, 350,000 cars and trucks being recalled. It was issued this week for a shifter linkage problem. It's not really a big deal, guys. I mean, I know I bag on Ford all the time because it's just really easy to do.
Easy or fun for you?
Well, both. 350,000 of the Ford Mustangs, Navigators, and Ford F-150s and Expeditions have said to have possible a linkage problem in the shifter where you may think you put it in park, but it may be in neutral. So if you own one, they're saying years between 2017, 2018. If you're not sure, it's a quick telephone call, guys. Just call up your local Ford dealership and just say, hey, this is my vehicle. I mean, I always tell you guys, recalls are something not to play with, just for a lot of reasons. You don't want to get hurt for no reason. And a lot of people overlook them. I'm going to the guilty party. It's just so hard sometimes to get your vehicle in for all the different recalls. But don't mess around. Just make a quick telephone call see if your vehicle applies. Because, I mean, you could pull into a parking spot. You could shift it into park. You think it's in park. You jump out of the vehicle, and it's actually in another gear.
That makes it a safety issue.
Well, linkage clips are... I mean, I guess I'm oblivious to them just for the fact that I was in the market for so long and the clips would break and the shifter cable would come off. And I've seen it happen so many different times that I guess it's not a big deal to me, but it could be a big deal to you. A real big deal.
Well, thank God it's never happened to me.
Well, I had a kid that worked for me one time that tried to give me the excuse as he drove through the 7-Eleven in a customer's car.
At that time, the linkage broke?
He had every excuse. I think he was hot dogging the customer's car, to be honest with you, but... Yeah.
Smell his breath.
It's funny you say that. It's like the first thing you have to do. And if you're ever in the business where they're driving anything for you, it's like the very first thing you have to do is see if they were intoxicated when they crashed something of yours.
Come here and breathe on me.
Yeah, come here. Breathe on me. As disgusting as that is. All right. Here's my poop story. Ready? I told you I had a poop story. Hang on for this one. Not this car related, but I said it qualifies because it has wheels on it. So there is a train carrying 10 million pounds of poop stranded in a train yard for 2 months now that's taking over the town. The smell is so god-awful that they can't let the kids go out and play. Just commuting in the town is pretty horrible, and they can't get rid of these train cars out of their...
Why would all that stuff be on a train? I thought it went to the waste treatment plant or whatever.
I had to do some research to find out myself. I'm glad you asked, Larry. Apparently, New York ships theirs out to other towns.
I don't get that. I mean, that's what the waste treatment plant is for.
They put it in train cars and they ship it to other towns to be waste. I guess
they use their systems.
Well, yeah, so other towns to make money, I guess, they take it in and they charge money to take it in and process it. But apparently in the process of moving it, something broke down and these train cars are stuck in this town, this small town. And now people can't go outside because it's... And here's the thing, we're in the winter time. So as the article that was sent to me, it's pretty funny, is what happens when the summer comes.
Yeah, it'll be fun time then.
Yeah. So like the mayor of this town is trying to get rid of these train cars. They've been there for 2 months. But they've went and interviewed, like people said, it's horrible. Like it smells like just like death through the whole town.
What town, they say?
You know what? I did my research and it's actually Parrish... a town called Parrish. Is it Alabama? Parrish, Alabama, I think.
Man, and it's from New York?
Yeah, apparently I guess there's other states that will take it and they charge these other states money to dispose of it and they make money. They make income that way.
I would just think it'd be cheaper if they just... I never knew that stuff was exported.
I've heard it flies. I've heard it hits the fan.
Yep.
Didn't know it riding in cars to other states.
How long has it been sitting?
2 months. Been 2 months in this town.
So you have to ask the question, why has it been sitting there 2 months?
Well, I guess so. Like it broke. So I did a little backstory on it, just to look to find out some information. So I guess it broke down somehow and it got stuck there. So they put it in a train yard, which normally would be like you can't store it. It's against the law to store it, but if it's in a train yard, somehow this town doesn't have the ordinance, so it qualifies to be able to sit there. And then they had to do like all these permits to move it. So like they wait for the permits, but people have been dragging their feet on the permits to move it. And yeah. And then like every time, like the town did an injunction to get it moved, but then the injunction stalled the paperwork even longer while there was an injunction. So it's been stuck there even longer because of the injunction.
Oh.
Yeah. Could you imagine like every day you walk out your door and you're just like...
I guess
is that you, Bob?
If it sat there long enough, it might go away.
You become smell blind. Maybe. I don't know. Pretty gross either way. Oh, all right. So I got it for you. I know I got to go to commercial break, but hold on. Before we go to commercial break, I told you I was going to tie gasoline, cars going away, as far as people not wanting to buy cars, and all those together. I told you they all come together. So the story coming up as soon as we come back from commercial break is Hyperloop's back in the news, and all that makes sense.
Okay.
All right. Take a quick commercial break. Talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA. Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow & Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949. Residential and commercial. You could always count on J.F. Whitlow & Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Well, here's a pound of prevention from your Napa Auto Care Center. We'll customize a preventive maintenance package for your vehicle that will save you time, money, and hassles now and down the road. We'll ask, do you drive mainly in the city or on the highway? Plan to keep your vehicle? How long? And more. Preventive maintenance is a good thing that prevents bad things. Build yours at your Napa Auto Care Center today.
Hey guys, Dave Pilach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. Do you currently have a repair shop you trust? Haven't found the time to go to a garage for all your automotive needs? Check out the all-star team at Napa BDGHRVA.com. That's Napa BDGHRVA.com. Let them show you what it's like to work with the professionals and make a friend along the way. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Pilach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cottman Transmission Janiff, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I am your host. Did you like that? That was pretty good. Yeah, right? Just hanging out with Rock and Larry Cobb. Of course, Cameron's doing all of our technical work for us. So I told you I was going to link all this stuff together. We were going to bring it all together. So Hyperloop, been on the news for a little while. You know, it's little news. It's there, but I don't talk about it unless it's something good. So Hyperloop did a full-scale test this week. And so basically they're looking to be in some of the countries, and we talked about this. So Saudi Arabia has been interested in it. Biggest reason is some of the commutes there are, 10-hour drive through the desert. Well, they can take a 10-hour drive and turn it into a 76-minute ride on Hyperloop. I mean, that's huge. So how does this all come together? Well, where does our oil come from?
A lot of it, most of it, I guess, still comes from Saudi Arabia.
Correct. They're looking to get out of being dependent on oil for money making, and they are looking actually into investing money into other things. Their interest, Hyperloop. Now, if you have Saudi Arabia looking to get away from oil, what does that tell you?
Well, the U.S. their oil production has increased to a point that maybe it's not as profitable. I don't know.
Right, which would drive the price
down.
So that's the reason why when you say, why are we going up, it obviously makes no sense. They have, as we've been watching the market and over the last year, and I've told you guys, they have predicted that gasoline prices will eventually fall quite a bit because the dependency on vehicles and the need for gasoline is going to go away. And I'm not saying this is going to happen overnight, and neither are they, but they're talking within like the next 5 years or so, we'll start to see huge differences. Biggest reason is the generations, as I told you, coming up behind us have no interest in owning cars.
Yeah.
They rather just get around using rideshare. So as purchasing the cars go down, less need for fuel, prices come down. It's supply and demand. I mean, it's pretty simple. We learned this a long, long time ago.
Well, a year ago, gas prices were down to a little below $2.
And they were. So, and there's no reason for it to be where it is right this second, except them telling us this is the reason. It is. So, I don't know. Crazier things have happened.
Boy. Well, they got enough oil over there. They could lube that Hyperloop there and just, and given the layout of the desert, just shoot right straight across there.
So here's another crazy story.
How are they going to export that anyway? How do you export Hyperloop technology?
What do you mean? Well, eventually they want to connect them everywhere. So I don't know. It's one of those things.
Okay.
Hyperloop is going to be the big thing. Once they figure it out, it's going to be a huge thing. Whether you guys believe it or not, I mean, when you have everybody in the world trying to figure out how to make this work, I mean, when you push a train through a tube at 700 miles an hour, that changes everything. That's going to change air travel, everything. Like I saw on TV the other day, they were talking about there's another new aircraft that's out that now can go like supersonic but has less boom noise or something like that. Okay.
Because of the wing design.
Right. So, I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way. I think it's cool. Don't get me wrong. But so, because if you have all the rest of this technology take over, air travel just becomes a mute point at that. You know what I mean?
Air travel at the speed of sound is expensive. It takes a lot of money to achieve that.
Well, remember when the Concorde was first, came out, and everybody thought it was the coolest thing, and then they realized what it was going to be.
So you bought a ticket.
Right, to fly on it, and then it was not such a cool thing anymore. So
what we need is a Hyperloop from L.A. to Honolulu.
Ooh. I wonder how long that would take on a Hyperloop.
I don't know. Would you put it underwater or over water?
You would think you'd have to put it underwater.
Yeah, because the Pacific Ocean gets pretty deep.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, you think well, they have those. I've seen it somewhere, and I don't know what it's called. Maybe you guys out there Radio Land and, of course, TV Land. Don't forget, we actually Facebook Live to you guys. So if you guys forgot about it, if you ever want to go back and watch us later, you can always look on Facebook Live. You can also go to our website, too, and check us out. And we actually repost all the shows. You can go and watch anytime. So I appreciate everybody that does tune in and watches and everybody on the radio that listens and stuff. We're trying to cover every aspect of it. But
peruse the archives.
Right. So if you guys don't, they have these tunnels that are called low supping tunnels. They sit just underneath the surface on floaty bags. So they basically float just underneath the water. That either they already exist or they're working on having them.
That would be neat because that ocean water is constantly moving.
Right. Well, and basically, you almost think it'd be like a slinky. You know what I mean? Like as everything shifts, it just kind of and the road changes on the inside. Maybe, I don't know. Look, if we have a boring company that every time we talk about it's kind of boring. I mean. We only talk about it. That man is in the news for all the wrong reasons. I'm not even touching on him this week because I'll wait for the dust to settle a little bit. But I got a funny one for you because this show goes by so quick. So the 16-year-old gets in a car chase this week, all right? They finally get her pulled over, and I think she does what everybody who ever finds himself in a car chase probably wanted to do but doesn't have the sense to think about it. As soon as they pull her out of the car and they handcuff her, what do you think she did?
I have no idea.
Cameron, this is you might have this one. Come on.
I wasn't driving.
No, she does something that's actually pretty funny. No guesses. This is.
I have no idea.
She starts singing the theme to cops as they're pulling her out of the car and handcuffing her. And
Bad boys, bad boys.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Apparently, the police officers didn't find it as funny as I do.
Or I do.
But I mean, it's one of those things.
Was she inebriated?
I don't know. It just apparently a bystander started taking video of it, and as they're pulling her out of the car and handcuffing her, she just starts singing the theme song. So I don't know.
A lot of people have guts.
Well, they do, but most people don't have the forethought to start singing that song as they're being locked up. Apparently, she did.
Oh man,
Yeah, I don't.
I'd start humming the theme to Highway Patrol. You're not old enough to remember that show.
No, Car 54. Where are you?
Well, no, there was a show called Highway Patrol with Broderick Crawford in the 50s, late 50s.
No.
And it was a neat show to watch.
I used to watch Car 54. I remember that because I remember it used to be like the 54 and the little siren, and the car was going around through the streets. And
That was a comedy.
Is that what that was? Mm-hmm. I remember seeing it when I was a kid. I don't remember much about it, but I remember the car part of it.
Yeah. Fred Munster was on it, and Grandpa.
Yeah, like I said, I remember the car part of it because obviously being a car person, that's the only part I remember. But all right, so here's the last thing before we get out of here. So obviously the weather's starting to change. You know, spring break for a lot of kids are on spring break this week. A lot of people are starting to pull their cars out and starting to work on them and stuff like that. So here was a conversation I got into this week, and this may help you guys out a little bit. Don't overbite what your capabilities are. Okay. So what I mean by that is there's a lot of people that just want to get out there and they want to work on their cars. And I encourage that over and over and over again. I think it's a great thing. You should get out there and work on your car, learn some things, teach your kids things when it comes to cars. But there's a lot of people that get out there and work on their cars and they take on more than they're capable of doing or they have the knowledge of doing, and they get frustrated. So one of the things that I kind of want to remind you guys of, and here's some of the things in the conversations I had this week, was know what you're doing. Have a plan that you've allotted enough time to do it, especially if you're working on the car that you have to drive to work or whatever to get you someplace. Make sure you allow yourself enough time to do the full repair. And if you've never done the repair before, there's a good chance that you want to make sure that you're not going to be trying to use that car to go anywhere anytime soon, that you have another way to get where you need to go just in case you run into problems, because problems always do exist. The biggest problem that I see when people work on cars for themselves is they forget parts that they don't know they need, or they just forgot to pick them up. They spend 4 or 5 hours, I kid you not, running back and forth to the parts store, getting all the stuff that they don't have. Rather, whoops, I didn't get grease, or whoops, I didn't get this seal, or whoops, I didn't get this or that. And before you know it, the whole day is gone, and you've managed to fix nothing on the car because you spent the whole day running back and forth to the store to get everything. Every time you get to the next point of working on the car, you're like, oh, I don't have this. And then they're back in the car running to go get that. And then, the back and forth to the store, you don't realize it. That's a half hour to 45 minutes every time you have to run back and forth to the store. By the time you get in the car, you drive there, you get to the store, you get what you need, you get back in the car and you drive back, you've lost 45 minutes. If you had to do that 4 times during a repair for little things, say a bolt breaks or something breaks, you've lost hours worth of work that you're not even working on the car. So it's funny. I talk to so many people when it comes to cars and so many different things when it comes to cars. And a lot of this stuff is the oversight. It's like, oh, I can do a brake job. And they go ahead and they get ready to do a brake job and they realize they don't have everything for the brake job, or the brake, something sticks or something breaks or whatever it may be. And before you know it, the car's in pieces and they got someplace they have to be. So my education for this week is think ahead and have a plan B if you can't get the car back together. But I do encourage you, keep on working on the cars.
I bet they only do that once.
You would think. Some people I know do it twice and 3 times. So with that being said, it is Saturday. It's a little rainy where we're at. Hopefully it is sunny where you guys are at. Enjoy your Saturday. Sunday is right around the corner. As I always say, turn off the TV, spend some time with your kids, take them to a car show. They'll love you for it. We're out of here. Talk to you soon.